Okay, let's talk about number 2 and number 3 on your practice test here. This is in section 4.1, talking about horizontal and vertical asymptotes for the graph of the function. If we recall, to find vertical asymptotes, we're going to set the denominator equal to 0. So again, we're just going to set the denominator equal to 0. Okay, so let's do so. So for this one, it would be 8x plus 4 equals 0. We would subtract 4 from both sides, divide by 8 on both sides. We would have x equals negative 4 over 8. X equals negative 1/2. So this right here is our vertical asymptote. Okay, to find a horizontal asymptote now, what we're going to do is we're going to look at the degrees of the numerator and the denominator. Okay, the degree again is looking at the exponent of the highest number in each of the numerator and the denominator. So again, the exponent here for this problem right here is 1, since there is no exponent. And what about the denominator? That's also 1. So what we're going to do when we're doing horizontal asymptotes, we're going to compare degree of numerator and the denominator. Okay, on this one, the degree of the numerator equal the degree of the denominator. They were both 1. If that's the case, if we have both the degree of the numerator and the denominator equal to each other, which we have in this problem, we're going to look at the leading coefficients now. 5 and 8, the leading coefficients of each of the highest degree terms. Our horizontal asymptote will be a y equals, and it'll be the leading coefficients of both of them, 5 and 8. It'll be 5 over 8. So again, our answer here is that x equals negative 1/2 as our vertical asymptote, and y equals 5 over 8 for our horizontal asymptote. So let's do number 3 now. Oops. There we go. Zoom in a little bit. Oops. Okay, it's the same idea again for number 3. The vertical asymptotes is we're setting the denominator equal to 0. So what should we do? X squared minus 49 equals 0. Okay, that's a look and do problem. You better be able to factor that by now. It's x plus 7, x minus 7. We can use zero product property, and we can see that x would equal negative 7 and positive 7. Okay, now we're looking for the horizontal asymptotes. Again, we're looking at the degrees of the numerator, the highest degree of the numerator and the highest degree of the denominator. So right here, I'm looking at the highest degree, it's 2. Highest degree here is also 2. It's very similar to number 2. We have the numerator is equal to the denominator, the degrees. So therefore, we're looking at the leading coefficients now. Looking at the leading coefficients. Okay, there's no coefficient here, so this is 1. So our equation for our horizontal asymptote is that y equals negative 4 over 1. So, whoops, I put that over there. So again, I'm looking at the leading coefficients, negative 4 over 1. Therefore, my horizontal asymptote is y equals negative 4 over 1, or I can say y equals negative 4. So again, my answer for x is I'm looking for the denominator equal to 0. So there you go, you got x squared minus 49 equals 0. X is negative 7 and positive 7. And again, my degrees were the same. They were equal. Y equals negative 4 over 1, which is y equals negative 4.